Hi guys, welcome back to another video with Pratham Test Prep. This is your host Sanjeev Bhatia again with a new video on your CLAT, right? What is all about CLAT, what CLAT means, what is the eligibility, what is the syllabus like, what are the exam dates, right? We're going to discuss each and everything today, right? So, and we will also discuss that what you should study for your CLAT examination if you're planning to give this exam in 2022 or 2023, what your plan should be and what all trends we have seen so far, we are going to discuss them too, right? So the first request that I make to each one of you before we go for any further is that please hit on the like, share and subscribe button before we move ahead in this video, so that you know that the content creators are also being just promoted, and also they get some motivation to make further videos for you guys, right? So do make sure that you always hit the like, share and subscribe button on that regards. So the first part is that if you are not a part of our Telegram channel, do make sure that you're subscribing to our Telegram channel for free updates, quizzes, and also knowing about the materials that are available from the last 2 years. From the last 2 years, there are a lot of materials available that you can sponsor yourself for free. You don't have to pay anything for those materials, right? Coming to the next part is that what is CLAT all about? So the dates for CLAT are out. The dates for CLAT for 2022 and 2023 are already out. The CLAT 2022 is on 8th of May of 2022, and the application window has started from 1st of January of 2022 and will go on for till 31st March of 2022 itself. Now, if you are looking to give the CLAT exam for 2023, then the exam is happening on 18th of December of 2022. So you can see that there is a lot of variation in the dates round. So all the students who are going for this examination should make sure that they have started their preparation right now itself for CLAT of 2023, because that is very, very important, right? Okay. Coming to the next part, that is that what is the first step that if you're going for this examination, what should be your first step regarding this examination should be that you understand what is exam all about, right? Understanding this examination is very, very important, guys. If you are going without understanding the paper, then you will never be able to crack it. Okay. So first, see what are the changing trends in the examination, what kind of people writing the paper, what is the paper like, what are the changing trends in the legal scenario right now also. So all of these things, when you notice, you understand what is the exam all about. Now, start as soon as possible. That is the most important thing that you have to do, is to start understanding the examination, the mock test, the subjects, how are they like, and you have to start doing it as soon as possible, so that the competitor of yours who will be preparing and understanding all this exam 20 days before the paper, you are not on the same stage. You are much more better and you have a chances to crack the examination then. So that is something which is very important for all the students who are planning to go for the paper. Now, the next very important thing is to get a steady and also a trusted source for general knowledge, right? So getting a trusted source for general knowledge is very, very important, guys. If you are going for any Tom, Dick, and Harry and understanding general knowledge from them, I would say that it will create a lot of problem for you in the examination, because you will find no relevance in what you have studied and what is coming in the paper. So that is something that you need to understand, that you need to find a steady and a trusted source of general knowledge. It can be any good website, it can be a coaching institution, it can be a great magazine like Pratyogita Darpan or Competition in Focus. It depends on your preference, right? So that is something that you have to decide right now. Now the next thing comes is mock analysis and self analysis, right? So we'll talk about this in detail in the video, in the in coming minutes. So you should stay definitely until the end to understand what I'm talking about here, and these are very important parts to crack the CLAT examination. Without this, you cannot even imagine to step in the paper and go ahead with that, right? So coming to the first part, that is that take a tour of the syllabus, right? That is the second towards going for NLUs, right? So time division, right? Time division is very, very important. So you always need to make a timetable for yourself, right? So a timetable jab aap banayenge, so you will understand that okay, SAT is not showing the option for 3-year LLB course. So Pari, there is no 3-year LLB course in NLUs. So you are filling the wrong form. CLAT doesn't provide any 3-year LLB course options. So if you're trying to do that, you'll never find it because there is none. That doesn't exist, Pari. Please. These are only 5-year integrated programs, BA LLB honors only and BBA LLB honors only. And some colleges are BCom LLB honors. You cannot go for a 3-year course here. Now, uh, finding yourself making a timetable is a very important task when you're studying for a competitive exam. So you need to understand that you make a timetable for yourself right now, even if you haven't started yet. Make a timetable and divide your subjects, that how are you going to study these subjects. Okay, next is always start attempting easy topics and building confidence for the difficult ones, right? So that is something which you have to say, is that easy topics help you to understand where you stand and how well you can solve these exams, right? So then that is why you have to solve the easy topics first, then you will get the confidence enough to go for the difficult ones, and you build your speed and accuracy in those topics also. Next is that identify the areas where you are weak. Obviously that is very important, right? Then you need to sharpen your practice on those areas by going for subject based examinations and all those things, right? So that is very, very important for you guys here. Okay, so identify the areas where more practice is required and give your time in those areas also. Okay, coming to the next part, that how is what is all CLAT examination all about, is that it is a 150 marker paper with a maximum duration of 2 hours, and also with negative marking of 0.25 for each wrong answer that you go for. There are 5 subjects in the paper, as we all know, that is English language, current affairs, legal reasoning, logical reasoning, and quantitative techniques, right? So this is something which is very, very important for us in this examination. Now coming to the next part, that is the exam structure. Now the exam structure is very simple. It has 5 subjects, and which are of different passage sizes. So English comes with 30 questions, and also number of passages are 6, and also it is just for 30 marks. Now coming to general knowledge, general knowledge is for 35 questions, and number of passages are 7, so it is for 35 marks. Legal reasoning, on the other hand, comes for 40 questions, 8 passages, and 40 marks in total. Now, the next is logical reasoning, 30 questions, 6 passages, 30 marks each. Now, quantitative techniques have 15 questions, 3 passages, basically, because it has data interpretation also, so it can come in a passage format too. So that is why it is of 15 marks. So the total number of passages are 30, number of questions of 150, and total duration of time is 120, where you have negative marking also, right? So I hope you understand how the exam structure is formed. So it is very, very competitive also to understand that legal reasoning and all of these topics are very important for you, right? You can see that legal and your GK sorts out more, half of your paper, more than half of your paper, right? So that is something that you need to understand, that these subjects can't be ignored at all, right? So you need to make sure that you are giving your best in these subjects also. Next is quantitative techniques, right? So mathematics is something where a lot of students lack, or they don't like maths, or there's something hatred towards mathematics. So you need to understand that you have to practice maths questions. There has to be a very important section. Okay, maths is always going to be an important section, because a lot of people, 60 to 65% of the people going to National Law University, are from science background. So you can understand that maths play a very, very vital role in these examinations, because students from science are also attempting. So if you are someone who's watching this video and from commerce, maths, or also from humanities without maths, or commerce without maths, then you need to buck up your belt right now, because you are getting into competition with the students who are studying PCM from last 2 years. So that is something that you need to make sure that you are not leaving that stone unturned for yourself. Now, leaving the whole section would make a lot of difference. A lot of students say that as maths is the smallest section, so I can skip on the entire section. So I would say that leaving the whole section would make a lot of difference, and it can create a difference that you might not even go to a national law university. So that is why don't take that chance for yourself. Don't skip the entire section. Make sure that you are studying the section very, very clearly and properly. Now try practicing all the variations that would help you to understand every kind kind of question, right? So you need to understand that variations are different types of similar topics, right? So say average time, distance, speed, uske andar different types of variations would be there, so you have to solve all of them. So that will help you to get a hold on the understand every kind of question that can pop up in your exam. So also make sure that each question that you answer, you see it as the question in your examination, that it can come in your examination anytime. So you need to remember every question very, very clearly and distinctively, that how it works. Because in logical reasoning and English language, sometimes people are not able to find the difference only, right? So these kinds of mistakes shouldn't happen with you while you are there in the examination. So I hope you make all your concepts clear before you go for the paper. Now coming to the next part, that is that practice skill based subjects in consistent manner. Consistent manner means you have to practice every day, right? So logical reasoning, mathematics, verbal ability, these are all things which comes from skill. It is all skill based subjects, so you need to make sure that you are practicing these subjects on a daily basis without fail. Even for, if you get half an hour, I would say that you invest those half an hour in these subjects, because they will be very vital for you once you go for the CLAT examination. And also it keeps your brain trained towards solving questions every day. So that is something that I will recommend each and every one of you. Before you go for the examination, make sure that you are practicing these subjects very, very clearly. Now coming to the next part is that the what is the plan for general knowledge. As I told you, to get a steady and a consistent and a trusted source for general knowledge, what all you can do next, right? You can read the monthly compendiums that comes out, right? If you are a Pratham student, then definitely you have your monthly compendiums for legal, you have your monthly compendiums for basic GK, you can read them all, right? Next is you have to keep an eye on the current affairs that are going on. Obviously keeping an eye on the newspaper makes everything better. Next is make a revision plan for your GK. So revision plan is very important, because GK gets into a varied number of things, right? The course becomes very big and it is very difficult for students to cover it during the end times of the exam. So definitely make a revision plan, that how are you gonna revise the entire section for yourself. That is something which is very, very important for you guys to also understand. Now read all legal compendiums, right? If you are a Pratham student, you cannot imagine to skip on those legal compendiums, because without that your law preparation is incomplete, completely incomplete. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are reading all those legal compendiums regularly, right? They come out every month and you need to read them every month for yourself. Okay, now coming to the next part, that is that legal aptitude. Like, so what is happening in legal aptitude? So there are different topics like constitution, criminal law, law of torts, law of contracts, and miscellaneous laws, which includes family laws, international sea laws, right? So Hindu law, Muslim law, all of these things will come up. So you can have a small look and like a feel of those laws coming to you. So definitely that is very interesting also. Now, previous year question paper also play a very important role. So you might ask, sir, the paper was changed in 2020. So why should we look at these previous year papers? So I would say that these previous year papers give you an important aspect of this examination to understand that how it's gonna run ahead, right? So that is why it is very, very important. Now, careful reading the question will make all the difference, because obviously legal language also goes between the lines. So you need to understand that you are reading it very, very carefully for yourself, right? So these kinds of small pointers, you need to make sure that you are keeping a note of these, right? So you cannot forget them once you are there inside the paper and just be very lenient about all of these things, right? So you need to make sure that you are making up pointers of these points that you are there, right? Coming to the next part, that is that plan your mock test. Okay, so planning your mock test is very important, right? So if you are going for the exam in month of May, then you should definitely make sure that you are planning your mock test in advance. You should keep sure that you are giving at least 1 to 2 mock tests per week, right? Between your exams also you should start giving mocks and not skip on them completely. That is very very important for all the people, right? If you are going for AILET also, do make sure that you are giving 2 to 3 mocks in a month at least, and 3 to 4 mocks after the dates are announced for the exam. You can see like dates are already announced, so you can give 3 to 4 mocks if you are really planning to go for it. Okay, so these kinds of small techniques, right? Giving the paper between 3 to 5 p.m. because the CLAT examination happens between 3 to 5. So when you are giving your paper between 3 to 5, you are training your mind basically to write an exam between 3 to 5 p.m. So that is something that you can always do. So these things are very important for all the students who are going for these papers, because they don't think about this until and unless they fail once in those papers. So right now we are here to tell you that what all you can do to make your paper worthy of giving and also get an admission in these top law schools where you always wish to go for, right? So these things are very very important for all of you guys. Now coming to the next is that you have to make a plan that how are you going to solve the paper, right? So you have to see which section are you going to choose first and which one are you going to go for last, right? So before going in the exam you need to make up your mind. Why? Because you everybody has their own individual fatigue levels. ये मतलब कि आप कितनी देर में थक जाते हो कोई चीज पढ़ के, ये सबका fatigue level अलग अलग होता है, right? Science says human brain can be active for 1.5 hours, but this paper is for 2 hours. Now what should we do? So you need to make sure that you are solving the paper in a manner where you require the most amount of your effort and brain. You keep it at first, and what requires the least amount of effort and you can do even when you are tired is something that you have to keep it towards the end, right? So these kinds of things will help you to get better score in your mocks also, and to finally get a better score in your CLAT examination, which will be the final date, right? So you need to make sure that you are making a plan before you are going for the examination. Now coming to the next part is that you have to do the mock test analysis and also self analysis. Now what is mock test analysis? That once you've given this mock test, you need to make sure that you are analyzing it, right? You are looking at it. After you have done it, you'll see the exam exact answers, what was the exact reasoning for those questions. You need to make sure that you are analyzing the entire thing without skipping any parts in it, right? So that is something which is very very important for you guys to even understand. Okay, so that is what is mock test analysis and self analysis calls for. Now the next thing is that you have to find your weak sections. Once you find your weak sections, then you can only work on it. Otherwise you'll always be luring around your weaknesses and you will never be true to yourself, right? So be the toughest examination to yourself, and also be true to yourself that what you're doing, you are completely honest about what you're doing in this paper, right? So that is something which is very very important for you guys to make sure. Now stagnant scores, if you are giving the mock test and you are getting stagnant scores, so you need to make sure that why are you getting those stagnant scores, right? So that means that there is a difficulty or there is some lack that is going on uh, in your preparation. So you need to make sure that you are looking at it very very carefully. Now you need to make sure that you are singling out your mistakes and also practicing the same and not leaving it to luck. Okay. Now coming to the last part for this is that what is your competition. You need to understand your competition also. That is something that's gonna make uh sir, the seats in NLSO have increased from 120 to 180. Okay. So Anushka, still you have to get a top rank of 120 to 180 to get to that, right? But there is, it is not increased. It was earlier 80, Anushka. I guess you are wrong there. You need to check it again, right? There were 80 seats. They increased it for Karnataka domicile, but not 180. I don't think so. It is 180 seats. Please check it again. Okay, coming to the next part is that you understand your competition. I told you that there will be a lot of science students who will be coming up. So that is something that you need to make sure um, that you are preparing in a manner that you are good at GK and reasoning subjects. Okay, okay, guys. Chaliye. Next is that GK, legal aptitude, and verbal ability are on the same level for everyone. You know why? Because nobody has done this ever in this life before, right? Everybody is doing it for the first time. But mathematics and logical reasoning is that some people have done it before, right? So that is where that they can use their skill and get ahead of you if you are not practicing well. So you need to make sure that you are practicing yourself very carefully, and because difference is made in these skill based subjects also. Okay, coming to the next part, that is what was our learning from CLAT 2021. This is the most important thing that you need to make sure that you understand, right? What is our learning? First, reading turned out to be the most important part of the section, right? Because why? Because reading makes all the difference in paper for law, because reading is the most important aspect of law, right? So that is why reading makes all the difference for the students who are going for the examination. Next comes maths, right? Maths from the old section will be the most important ones. Why? Because maths is generally repeated in CLAT and AILET and all these examinations. So if you are studying maths from your old examinations also, it will make a lot of difference for you guys. Next is that vocabulary plays an important role in the paper. Why? Because it's a law exam, they expect students to have a great vocab skills. So if you have good vocabulary, that is going to play a very very important role for you in the paper. Now the next is that this exam cannot be cracked without GK and legal affairs, right? So you need to study and read legal affairs and general knowledge very very regularly. You cannot skip on them, otherwise you'll not be able to crack this examination. You need to make sure that you are giving your best in your GK and legal affairs, right? So this is something which is very very important for everyone to understand and make up your mind for. Now coming to the next part, that is, sir, if I start from today, Jerry, you can definitely start from today. That is 100% possible. I would say that you can definitely start. Um, you can get a rank in top 100, Jerry. Depends on what kind of aptitude that you hold and how hard can you work right now. So it depends on your caliber and your hard work. It's not me that can tell you that can I get a top in 100. You can get rank 1 also if you know what you're doing, right? So that is something which is very very important. Okay, so do take care of yourself, guys. Thanks for joining this live session. I hope you understood about this exam, that how it's going to happen, what are the procedures that are involved in this examination, which will be very important for each one of you. So do make sure that you are hitting on the like button and on the subscribe button also, and don't forget to hit the bell icon, and also leave your comments if you are looking for some particular sections to be discussed on this channel itself, and I'll be happy to help you all, right? So take care of yourself. Hope to see you on the next session, and have a nice time. And also do take care of yourself, because the COVID cases are increasing in India. So taking care of yourself is very important. Don't forget to wear your masks at all, and do take care of your family and your friends. Bye bye, guys. Take care. Hope to see you all very very soon.